Hi everyone, let's do part 8 of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Now I have cut out a flower from a beautiful bit of material that I got from Spotlight, which is our little shop in Melbourne, and it had very big flowers and it had even bigger hummingbirds, which are beautiful but won't fit on this size. Remember, I was very undecided about which way this page was going to go once I'd got all the background done. So, January, it's going to go here or here, and I didn't stick that little tag in yet, so we're going to do that today. I don't know if I said I still haven't stitched down those pages yet. I'll get to it. Now, I wonder what happened to that little February. It's somewhere, anyway. So, regardless of what's going on here, which will be March, so I have no idea what it's going to look like. This is my neutral background. I do love this, though. I don't want to lose that. I don't really want to lose that either. So, how do I get this so I get a bit of that and still don't lose too much of that, but get a flower? Alright, so that's one idea. Could be still like that, could be like that. That feels too heavy to this side doing that. This way, got that interest here, and even though this is different, it means we can see and focus on this middle part of the flower, but I'm also not covering that up, which I love, and I'm leaving at least some of that flower there. So I think that this is the way it's going up in the book. So I'm going to stitch down. Right, let me think. Am I going to stitch round? Just make an edit to the flower. No one will know. Alright, maybe... Right, I'm going to stitch around the edge to get it down. Oh, you know what would be really nice? If I could find my Bonder web. That would be really, 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 really nice. But do I know where it is? No, I don't. So, we're not using it. Okay, we're stitching down. Now I'm probably not going to be too fussy about a lot of this stitching because I am going to go over with thread. So probably cover up a lot of it. And hopefully not fray those edges too much. Although it's part of it, isn't it? It is part of the whole journey with this. When it's a bit more creative, it's not something that we want to be too fussy about, because perfection is not always what creativity is about. It's about exploring and exploration. I'll probably just stop and start the video so it's not super long, show you what I'm doing at the start, then come back at the end of each little segment or each little fragment of what I'm doing, and then that way won't be super long, but you'll get the idea of what I'm doing and stitch watch along if you like. Why not? Now, I hope you enjoyed Thread Thursday if you watched that. I think I'm getting the hang of it. Might maybe changing the format a little bit. All right, don't need that. And perhaps also getting a little bit more confident with embroidery and stitching, because now I'm getting into my, well, second year. I guess we've had 2 years of lockdowns in Melbourne, so I guess I did my first little tentative bits of stitching and embroidery. Let's see. Well, I can't remember what month we did the 100-day project, but with Rachel and Sarah. So I guess it's at least 1.5 years now. So it's almost becoming like my main creative endeavour. So yeah, thanks Rachel and Sarah, and by default, Rachel and Sarah's mum, because without her, I guess the girls wouldn't be doing it. Oh, I hate it when you get a knot. Right, am I going to leave it there? No, I don't want it. Don't want it there, so let's pull that back and I'll sort that one out. Oh, I tried to pull it out, it didn't come out, and now it's gone. Gosh. All right, let's just pretend I've sewn that back in. Just start up here as if it was the continuation of that thread. So I would like to say, I guess I'm feeling that I'm getting a little bit more confident, and also making, you know, the tags last year. I learnt a lot more stitches, doing the stitch wheel as you see me doing in my Thread Thursday. And I feel that now I've got a lot of basics, and now what I'd like to be doing is starting to explore my creativity with it, what works for me and some of my ideas. I still love that we have these projects with other people to really, you know, give us some new ideas. Right, this is looking how I want it to look. Anyway, that was a little ramble. I've just felt like saying that. I'm madly rushing to finish a lot of videos, so they're all up for Huss gets back on Thursday. He's been away for 3 months, so I am rushing to have a week or so, 2 worth of videos, so we can go. He says we're going on a honeymoon. He's going to come back for a day or 2 and get acclimatised after, you know, a day or 2 worth of travelling and changing time zones. And then he says, we'll do whatever you like. So I said, I want to go. I'm going to go to Sale, and I want to see the art gallery, the show, Penelope's show before it closes. It's a textural, sculptural type of underwater, like jellyfish are her inspiration, but she does use textiles and polystyrene and plastics and all sorts of things. So what I'm going to do, and he did say yes, he'd like to do that, thank goodness, because I was thinking maybe I'll just leave him here and go and do it myself. Mrs. Independent. But he wanted to go, he was happy to go. What I might do is film it and put it on a Thread Thursday. That would be good, wouldn't it? Oh, that'd be really good. Right, that's what I mean about changing the format. So, I've nearly finished. Now I was having a little bit of a play with these flowers on another piece that I'm doing, which I haven't brought upstairs, so I haven't got it to show. I'll show it on a Thursday. I'm going to do similarly to what I was doing on that one, which is using a few colours and coming through all these different areas with little coloured stitches. It doesn't really matter if I use a different colour thread, because why not? That might work. That might work in the middle. I can do bits and pieces. And helps to tie a knot. Oh, and upstairs it helps to turn the aircon on because we're having 30-degree days again. That's way too hot up here. Now I'm here. I'm going to do a few of these little, tiny little stitches over that dark area. Now, my concept is if I use thick thread, I will get a velvety kind of a texture. That's what I sort of want. So these might get a little bit covered up, or they might just show through, and I'm happy about that. And I can't tell you how good it feels to finally have got in here and cleaned up my crap, honestly. It was so bad. I don't know why, it just got bad. All right, I don't intend to have rants on these. I don't intend this year, I said, I'm not going to just end up ranting and raving and carrying on about chatting, but sometimes when you're actually sitting stitching, you just want to have a little bit of a chat as if you were in a room with other people, which I am if you're watching. It's just good if we need like sense around or whatever. I guess that's why people do it on, have a Patreon and do it on Zoom. I don't know if I want to do that. Anyway, liking this very much. So that's one of my ideas. I'm going to do that. I have to thread that back in. All right, so that honestly is fairly, you know, you really have to look up close and see that. That's all right. I love this colour. I love this colour thread. So let's talk about sale. Now, the reason, aside from seeing that, I went to look what was on at the art gallery up there. Now, the reason that I did that is because one of my friends has bought a property right near Sale, and she has wanted for ages to do bed and breakfast. So she's finally bought a property up there near the 90-mile beach, and so the 90-mile beach is about 2.5 hours drive. Sale's 2.5 hours drive from where I live in Melbourne. And I thought Sale was in the middle of Victoria, up near Ballarat or something. No, up near, I thought it was up near Albury, Wodonga, up that way. Just goes to show I know nothing about places. But anyway, I had a look on the map. 2.5 hours drive basically along the coast out that way. If you're looking at the map and you look at Melbourne, it's to the right of Melbourne. And there's all these beaches and it looks lovely. So she's bought a little place and she's doing it up slowly. And she's a wonderful cook. So she wants to do a little bed and breakfast. She's vegan, so she does vegan cooking bed and breakfast is what she's planning. And she likes the concept of making meals, offering breakfasts for people. So she's backwards and forwards between Melbourne and Sale. It's a little town just outside Sale. It starts with L, I can't remember, Long something. But in there, in that little bit between Sale and 90 Mile Beach. And she's going to work on that over this year, getting it up and running and ready. How wonderful. So I thought, oh, that'd be nice, go up and visit her. It's a nice, 2.5 hours drive is a good little drive and a good weekend away if you're going to go just for one night or 2 nights. She's got a guest room set up there. Anyway, and I thought I'd like to go and do that. Go up and visit, check it out, see what she's doing. She said, good idea. So then I thought, well, if we're going to go up there and have a visit, which is a delightful idea, I always think if I go away anywhere for a weekend, I always have a look at what the local art gallery, if it's got a exhibition on that I'd like to see. And that one has Penelope. It's on my phone. Anyway, if you look at the Gippsland or the Sale Art Gallery, Penelope has got this exhibition. So based on sea urchins and things like that. And I saw it, and it finishes on Sunday the 20th, and I thought, oh no, he won't be ready, he'll need to have a few days sleep. And I said, and he said when he's caught up on sleep, then we're on our honeymoon. So I had to say, what does that mean to you? His version of a honeymoon is not doing anything, resting and relaxing. And I said, well, my version of a honeymoon is going somewhere, so I'm not at home thinking I'm not on holidays, because, there's always things to do at home. It's not a holiday, is it? So I said I'd like to see that exhibition. But it finishes on Sunday the 20th, so it basically means he gets back on the very early in the morning on the 18th. And so that's pushing it a bit, I thought. And he went, oh, we can even go on the Saturday if you want. So there you go. He was all keen to go away and do something. I think after being for 3 months in Somalia, it's going to be, he's very adaptable. He seems to manage, but I just think, if it was me, it would take me a little bit longer to acclimatise, especially leaving, he's got to come back and leave his mum and all his relatives and all his people. So, I don't know, what a champ. Anyway, good for him. See what I'm doing? It's like going over these dark areas with that colour. And I'm going to keep doing that tonight, and I'll have to come back because otherwise I've either got to fast forward it or find more subjects to talk about. Maybe you like that. Some people don't, of course. Anyway, this is what I'm going to do, and I think what I'll do is come back when I'm a bit closer to the end, because it's just very enjoyable doing this. How good is that? All right, I will be back. Okay, so what I've done so far is lots of little close satin stitch type or stem stitch, whatever you want to call it. I think it's a variety of both on the darker areas. I've filled in this little area. I've still got a little bit of that, I don't know what colour it is. It's not a pink, it's like a dusky pink. Put a little bit of orange because there was a little bit of orange in there. And I've still got this sort of bud and the stem with a bit of a bud. So I've got slightly darker grey, and now I'm using a lighter grey to fill in some of these little areas here. I find it's effective to have a range. So these are very close, and then this is just straight stitch. And it still gives it a textured effect, even though it's not dense and thick like that. But I love this. It's like, it does make that very velvety, but it also makes it, you know, it feels like a patch rather than a bit of material on another bit of material. So I'm quite liking that. Now this one, I'm using the whole, am I? The whole 6 strands? Let me check. I think I did. I don't know, I was doing it last night. No, I am not. Tell a lie. I am using 3 strands. Let's move that out of the way. Right. So I might make this a little bit denser. Keep those edges down a bit. But also just a little bit of more of a highlight of the other colours that are in the flower, because the flower isn't just a whitish pinkish tone, it's got all these different colours through it. I love it, it's beautiful. I actually forgot I should bring up that bit of material that I cut it out of, show you it. I'll do a bit of this and then I'll go downstairs and I'll get it. So I'm not sure. All right, so I've got Thread Thursday. That'll be the 18th. I've uploaded my tag roulette for February, which will come out on Saturday the 19th. No, that's not right. It has to be the 20th, doesn't it? Is that right? I think this might be uploaded maybe on the Sunday. So sorry if they're uploaded all in a weird order and what I say doesn't make any sense. I might have got my words out of chronological order on the videos. Sorry about that. Oops. Alright, this light grey. This background here has a very sort of grey, very pale orange. I might try and get a bit of that in. This grey it's adding a little bit, but it's not, I'm not feeling it up here. I was more feeling it down here along this little edge. And what about this little bud thing? It can be a little bit abstract, of course. It's not really a real issue. All right, that's making a bit more sense to me, that colour on that bit. Okay, so what I've got is just one strand of this same orange that I used. It is actually variegated. It's not a, you know, it's very subtle variation. So you can see that one, how different they are, but not that far apart. So I had a little bit of this left over from when I was doing that bit. So I'm just doing a couple of little straight stitches just through, just to bring in a little bit of orange up onto this flower petal. Just adds a bit of variety. I quite like it. Bit of light and shade. There. Okay, so the material, I can't remember if I showed you, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't, can't remember. See if I can get a bit Right, so I just got it from Spotlight and it was on sale, but there's the hummingbird. Isn't that gorgeous? So there's a hummingbird and there's the, oh, I ripped that, but there's these flowers, magnolias they look like, or they might be peach blossoms up close, and then there's this lovely splattered effect here. So I'm making a slow stitched book again, like the ones we made with Anne 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And I've used one of these big open flowers in a similar style. I'll do that on a thread Thursday, but I just think I'll finish up this and finish all my chores I've got to do before Huss gets back, or he'll be back by the time this video's, by the time you're watching. And I'll put it in on a thread Thursday. So there's my February. I still didn't find my little tag that's going to be going in here on the back of here. So that'll be like that, and I'll have my little February here somewhere. It'll be somewhere in one of my tins of mess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. That's my February done, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.